I think she muted everyone.
No, we're just not talking, Harvey.
Okay. Well, good morning or good day. I don't know who this person is. So. Lovely picture.
Hi, everyone.
One of our new members, Alicia.
Yes.
Welcome.
I figured out how to use my video today. Look at that.
Oh, all right.
Good old technology.
Yeah. Okay, Virginia, are you all set? All right. I guess at 12:02, we'll call this meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone and to our new members. It's great to see such good attendance. Our first item on our agenda would be approval of minutes. Everyone had a chance to take a look at the minutes from our last meeting.
Sorry,
which was
sorry to interrupt. We just have roll call.
Roll call. Sorry, I went ahead of myself. All right, I have a list ready. Just mention whether you're present or not. Councillor Matthew Shoemaker.
Present. Sorry, I was trying to get it off mute there.
Okay. Dean is here. Mark Jones.
Here.
Caitlin Kazmarowski. I know that Sean has sent his regrets. Harvey Robbins.
Here.
Jamie.
Here.
Alexander White. And Alicia Wood-Solomon.
Present.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, is Alexander here?
He sent his regrets. He got tied up at school.
Okay.
And Caitlin just jumped on, I can see.
Hi.
Hi, Caitlin, welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Okay. Now moving on to our agenda. Approval of minutes. Everyone had a chance to take a look at the minutes they received. Any corrections, comments, or questions?
Yeah, I have a comment. I think it's a point of order, and perhaps it's an error. But
okay, Harvey.
We have people voting for yourself and for Jamie, and you really can't vote for yourself when you are being elected as the chair or vice chair. I think it's just a matter of correcting the minutes, but I don't think it should be shown that you voted for yourself. And that's the way the minutes read at the present time.
Okay.
All right, it's just a point of error, of order. I don't think it's anything
that's
else.
great. You got that, Virginia?
Yeah, we'll make the correction.
Okay. If there's no other corrections or comments, I'd like a motion to approve the minutes. Who would like to put forward a motion?
I'll put forward a motion.
With the correction.
Okay. And we have a motion to approve from Caitlin or from Alicia. And seconder, please.
I'll second that, Mark.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Now I'll go through the roll call and please mention whether you're for or against. Councillor Shoemaker.
For.
I am for. Mark Jones.
For.
Caitlin.
For.
Harvey.
For.
Jamie.
I'm for.
And Alicia.
For.
Okay. Moving on, we're getting to number 2 on our agenda, declaration of conflict of interest. Does anyone have a conflict to declare on looking at our agenda? Okay, there's no conflicts noted, Virginia. Item number 3, business arising. That would be from Virginia. Do you have any new business, Virginia?
unmute myself. No, there's no new business at this time.
Okay.
Or business arising, sorry.
Do any members or committee members have anything to report or anything under new business? Okay, there's none. Item number 4 on our agenda is the designation applications. The draft report from the Wawanash Monument. It looked really good, Virginia. Thank you for getting that organized and doing that. Do we need to have a motion to approve that draft?
Yes, so if there's no other changes, once I had it compiled, I did forward it over to Krista and Maddie just to take another look at. So they didn't have any edits at that time. So yeah, so I don't know if everybody had a chance to review it and if they're good with proceeding with it as presented.
I think it looks good.
Thank you, Harvey.
It looks good. It's Councillor Shoemaker. The one question I wasn't clear on was, is it owned by anyone? I guess it's on city land, I suppose, but who's applying to designate it? Is the city the applicant?
No, the application came through from the Children of, I think it's through the Alumni Association.
Okay.
I'm just actually going to double check because Krista McCracken and Maddie Buffano were working on it. They did have a conversation with the members of the Legion. So it's my understanding that they were in favor of designating it. And I think it falls on Legion land, but it falls kind of through partially on an easement at that corner.
Okay, yeah, I was curious how this all came about.
Okay, Virginia, do you have a motion prepared?
Yeah, so the motion would be resolved that the Sault Ste. Marie Municipal Heritage Committee approve the designation report for the Wawanash Monument located at the northeast corner of Great Northern Road and Willoughby Street, and that the monument be recommended for designation under Part 4 of the Ontario Heritage Act, and further that a report be sent to City Council to request their approval to proceed with the designation.
Okay. May I have a mover, please?
I'll move that.
Okay. Councillor Shoemaker, and a seconder?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Caitlin. I will go through your names again, and you can let me know whether you're for or against. Councillor Shoemaker?
For.
Dean is for. Mark Jones?
For.
Caitlin?
For.
Harvey?
Or
Jamie?
For.
And Alicia?
For.
Okay, thank you. So that will go on the list to head to council. Item number 5 on our agenda, Designated Heritage Property Grant Program. I think that's going to fall in Virginia's realm right now.
Yeah, so a little bit of an update. I had anticipated we would have been receiving an application from the Kensington Terrace property. I did have a chance to talk with Mr. Kavanaugh. So they're holding off right now on proceeding with the order for the windows. They're doing a little bit more research, so he will be bringing back information to us at a later date.
Okay. Any questions or comments on that? All right, here we're at number 6 already. Our subcommittee reports. And looks like it's Jamie's turn to fill us in on the heritage calendar.
Yeah, I did actually speak with Dean Sayers this week. And we spent over an hour going through the text that we had prepared and made some significant edits. And so at this point, we're waiting for one. I think the last picture we need is for Precious Blood. And I think I'm waiting for Jeanette to at Parks Canada to look at the text for the calendar as a whole, as well as for the canal in particular. I'm pretty sure she wanted to make a change to the canal text, but she hasn't sent it to me yet. So we're nearly there.
That's great. It is going to be an outstanding calendar, Jamie. I have to thank you for all your work you've done.
Well, I'm really happy with the printer that I'm working with. He's turning out to be a real genius. So between the two of us, we'll get this working.
Any other questions of Jamie or of the calendar? Okay, item 2 on our subcommittee reports are properties of interest. And I guess that will be Virginia.
Yeah, we have a meeting with the working group is going to happen on March 15th, just to kind of go over the full listing and then the report that we'll be bringing to council in order to request kind of outline the process for engaging any of the potential property. So that's going to be coming up. You know, a little bit of logistical challenges not being able to do kind of our traditional style open house. So, you know, looking at having to do that via some type of Zoom presentation followed by a comment period. So yeah, it'll be a little bit more interesting trying to figure that one out. So yeah, so we'll be meeting on the 15th to discuss that one.
Okay. Thank you, Virginia. And I think, Virginia, you're going to continue with our next item, which is item number 3, the St. Mary's River Heritage Committee Walk.
Yep. So,
Mr. Chair, if I could interrupt there.
Yeah.
I had a question on that properties of interest one.
Certainly, go ahead.
Through you to Virginia. Virginia, do we ever approach owners of places that we think are good candidates for the heritage designation to see, you know, if they're aware of the program? Or I think there's benefits to being the owner too, right? I mean, your taxes are halved and all that good stuff. So do we ever go to people, you know, that own a property of interest, say, and ask them if they'd like to apply?
We have in the past made those requests of like to see if owners are interested. Often owners have brought forward the request to us. With the properties of interest, they have an opportunity. It would be registering the property, so slightly different than designation, but it's kind of a step towards designation. Give some interim protections from demolition. So if a property, you know, that the committee is looking at that has those qualities or, you know, is potential for a potential candidate for designation, it would we would be notified in the event that they were looking at demolishing it so that we could move forward with protecting it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now, item number 3, the St. Mary's River Heritage Walk, Virginia.
Yeah, so our Councillor Shoemaker's on that committee. We have a meeting scheduled for March 10th. So the committee members, we've been starting to do our research. And once the weather turns nice in the spring, we're going to go out and actually GIS map the locations that we want to put like the different interpretive panels and information on. So that'll kind of be the next step. But right now we're kind of in a research phase, and then hopefully we'll have some more information and put in our budget request for 2022 to have the stuff produced. So we're moving along. So there's a fair amount of research that is going to go along with it as well. And on that note, previously the representative from the Municipal Heritage Committee was Malcolm. Malcolm's no longer on the Heritage Committee at this point. So Jamie has actually been helping. She volunteered her services with with doing some of the research. So I'm not sure if we would like to designate somebody else to that committee. The original resolution that came from council was to have a member of the Municipal Heritage Committee on that subcommittee of council. So,
is anyone else interested in that? Jamie, are you interested in continuing your assistance?
Yes, I could, sure. at the risk of being on every subcommittee of this committee so far. Virginia, is there a meeting next week of that group?
There's a meeting coming up on the 10th. So if you're interested, we could pass a resolution to appoint you to that committee, and then I can send you an invite.
Oh, that'd be nice. Okay.
So I have a resolution. Right. Resolved that the Municipal Heritage Committee appoint Jamie Van Haften to the St. Mary's River Heritage Walk Subcommittee be approved. So.
Okay. May I have a mover, please?
I'll also move, Harvey.
I'll second it.
Okay, Harvey and Mark. And we'll do for and against. I'll read the poll numbers. Councillor Shoemaker?
4.
Dean is 4. Mark Jones?
4.
Caitlin?
4.
Harvey?
4.
Jamie?
I'm for, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Harvey,
Right.
whether our parliamentarian would allow me to vote on this one.
Okay, and I see that Alexander White has joined us. Alexander, are you for or against?
4? Yeah.
Thank you. And Alicia?
4.
Okay. Thank you. Item number 4 in our subcommittee reports. The Heritage Plaque Review. I don't think we've, I think Sean had been working on some of that. Virginia, do you have anything to add to that?
So yes, I can provide an update. Previously, I had mentioned to the committee that we were looking at getting a little bit of help doing some of the research on some part-time hours. So Bradley Klein, who worked at the Old Stone House for 4 years, he has started to help with compiling some information on a number of the subcommittees. So he just started a couple weeks ago. So he's been working away at preparing a document that's compiling all the plaques and the content of each of those plaques, whether they're federal, provincial, municipal. So that document is almost ready to go for the working group to start looking at those plaques. And the working group, I'm trying to remember all my meetings in here. We're meeting March 12th to start looking at that content. So yeah, so we're moving along. And Dean and Jamie, right, are the two of the members that are sitting on that committee, along with some city staff, and possibly looking at other individuals that may have expertise in that area as well. So.
Any other questions or comments on that? Okay. Virginia, we're going to have to start having lunch meetings because these meetings are going way too fast. Item number 7, correspondence and publications.
I believe everybody should be receiving Built Heritage News via email and from the National Trust.
I don't think I've received anything.
You haven't received it? Okay, we'll check to make sure we're on.
I do check my junk mail just in case, because you never know, but I don't recall coming across that. But
yeah, each year we send an update with the members' names, but sometimes we do have to do a little reminder, and then I will forward the stuff from the National Trust to you, and then you can actually subscribe to their email notification.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, that's the same for me. This is Caitlin. I haven't seen anything yet. I don't know how often that publication comes out, though.
I would say we probably get something almost weekly. Yeah,
all right.
Fairly regular between either Built Heritage News or the National Trust.
Okay.
Anybody else that would like to make sure they're added to those lists?
I believe I'm on it.
Pardon me?
I believe I'm on the list, I think.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's funny sometimes they miss people when they're putting them on, so I'll get both of you added to it. Okay.
Okay. Item number 8. Does any committee member or is there any new business to report or ask?
I had a question about item 6, like the heritage plaque. If that's to do with the Wawanash Girls Home. I just happened to be in the library this weekend with my partner's niece and nephew, and I like the historical nonfiction, like in the local section. And so reading up about Reverend Wilson and kind of what kind of person he was, it just so happened. And then I saw that when Virginia sent the meeting agenda that would be a topic. So I thought that was interesting. And and talking about like truth, that was my input last week, or last time we met last month, was about truth and reconciliation and just being in education. I wonder going forward, I know the plaque, the last plaque was sort of a centennial plaque from 1967 possibly. And if we're making new plaques, is there more of a consideration to draw in input from like Batchewana First Nation, Garden River, or what steps are we making towards truth and reconciliation, like with when we update plaques? I don't know.
I could speak to that a little bit, and maybe Councillor Shoemaker has some comments. I'm going to put you on the spot, Matt. But as far as any new plaques that are designated, I believe that's what we would definitely have some type of, or that we're actually creating. We would have some type of consultation process with it. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the actual designation report, but you know, that was also part of a step towards truth and reconciliation through this designation as well. So just recognizing, you know, residential schools and the whole system within the context of Sault Ste. Marie. So there's that piece. On the plaque review committee, I think that's also part of that, is to take a look at the wording that's in the existing plaques to see if, you know, there may be something that needs to be adjusted, or if there's something that, you know, may need to be looked at again because the wording wasn't appropriate.
Yeah, I think more to it when we're talking about truth. I don't want to take away from the truth. Reverend Wilson, his like job, the author in the book that I was reading, like, and this was from the 50s, I believe. Female author was saying his job was to assimilate, to assimilate Ojibwe boys and girls into our culture and remove their Ojibwe culture. So that's some truth. And I know that wasn't mentioned in the report or on the current plaque. Again, only so many words you can put on a plaque. But I just wondered, I just want to be mindful of truth.
That's a good comment, Alex. Thank you for that. Any other comments or questions?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted. Who's on that subcommittee? I mean, I know I'm on it.
Yeah, it's a working group or task force, Jamie. So it's yourself,
okay.
And then city staff. So myself, Bradley, and looking at, we're just in the middle of forming it. So I'm hoping to get another staff person that's going to be able to assist, and possibly Krista as an advisor for Kraken.
Well, I'm wondering if some of our new members could be given the opportunity to join that subcommittee.
Yeah, that's a possibility as well.
I'd be interested in, if there is space, I'd be interested in that for sure.
Okay, thank you, Caitlin.
And I just wanted to, maybe what Alex, just speaking to what he just said, I really agree. I don't know how that manifests in language, but when I was reading the report and the actual plaque itself, yeah, it just felt a bit like, who was this guy? Obviously there were some pretty awful things happening, and to glaze over it when we have an opportunity not to is, I think, really important in this specific instance, but also in others that will definitely come up. So just wanted to sort of second that, that sentiment.
I think too, in addition to what you're saying, at the time the plaque was made, it kind of goes with the time and the frame of thinking. I think if that plaque was designed and written today, it would sound a lot more inclusive, and it would kind of represent everyone in that whole reconciliation and truth. And but yeah, it's definitely something to think about for sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Yes, Dean, it's Harvey.
Go
as
ahead.
Far as the write-up for the heritage designation, if you look at one of the paragraphs down near the bottom, I think, was part of the Wawanosh home was part of the residential school system, which operated in Canada from the early 1800s until 1996. And then the next point is important. It aimed to assimilate Indigenous children into Euro-Canadian culture. So that is the statement, I think, about this issue that we're referring to here. So I think that acknowledges it. Whether it does it sufficiently or not is for others to comment as well.
Okay. Thanks, Harvey. Any other comments? Okay, Virginia, do you have a resolution to appoint Caitlin to that? Do we need a resolution for that?
Yeah, it would be like the other committees. So resolve that the Municipal Heritage Committee appoint Caitlin Kasperkowski to the Heritage Plaque Review Subcommittee. Be approved.
All right, so that is our resolution. May I have a mover, please?
I'll move it. It's Jamie.
Okay, and a seconder?
I'll second that. It's Matt Shoemaker.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor. I'll go down our list now. Councillor Shoemaker?
Yeah, 4.
4. Dean is 4. Mark?
4.
Caitlin? Oh, Caitlin, you're not going to vote. Harvey?
4.
Jamie?
4.
And Alex?
4.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Welcome to the committee, Caitlin. We get to have a meeting on March 12th.
Excellent.
Okay.
Caitlin. Or sorry, yeah.
All right. And okay, we're still kind of under our new business. And thanks for those comments, Alex. You got us really paying attention and in a good way. Any other new business? All right, we see that our next meeting is planned for Wednesday, April 7th at noon. I would like to have a motion to adjourn.
I'll move that.
Thank you, Matt. And a seconder?
I'll second.
Okay, and here we go down the list again. Councillor Shoemaker?
4.
Dean is 4. Mark?
4.
Caitlin?
4.
Harvey?
4.
Alex?
Sorry, 4.
And Jamie?
4.
All right, it looks like we're done here. That was like almost a world record meeting for the Municipal Heritage Committee. I thank everyone for their time and being on our committee, and we'll see you next month. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Thank you. See you guys.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Have a great day.